Alright. What's up, guys? Day 71. Coding every day until I get a job. Have I been applying to jobs? No. Does that mean that this series will go on infinitely? Probably. Because I am burnt out. Or I'm burning out. At least I'm applying to jobs. Some updates for you guys. Yesterday was a short stream. This one should be maybe an hour-ish. I still want to get to bed kind of early because, like, believe it or not, I went to bed early last night and I felt infinitely better this morning. Crazy how that works. What's up, Cheesayer? Some bigger updates. I did a lot of, like, chores today with the NU food stuff. Trying to get everything up and running. So now, there's probably stuff that's broken. Full honestly. Like, I'm a one dev team, a bad dev at that, and doing this in between classes. So a lot can be wrong with this. But if you go to nufood.me, there's now all the UI changes we've been working on. There's now the weekly items we've been working on. Right now there's a small glitch just because I scraped tonight in UTC time, which is like ahead of me. So it like scraped as if it's the 25th. So you know how it's supposed to be -3 + 3. So it's supposed to be that. Give some leeway. We'll be fine. Should be fine. Once I get the scrapes to be automated every time at 6 a.m., everything should line up correctly. But yeah, I mean, the stuff is up. The new UI changes on the account info is up. The UI changes, like scrolling, bug fixed. There's no more session storage usage. Besides like some basic show preferences stuff. Everything got migrated to Zustand. Backend changes, UI changes, it's all here. Something I still want to do is like if you navigate forward and backward, let your preferences stay. That will be for a different day. I'm a little bit burnt out on this project. But yeah, everything looks fine, but obviously that's never the case. Things are going to break. I'm going to probably lose users, and that's okay because it's all about the learning process. And the LinkedIn post that I'm going to make. Okay, that was a lot of yap. It's been like 3 minutes of yap. But that, if I'm a little bit burnt out today and a little slow, that's why I just put a lot of hours into that today because I didn't have a lot of class. I also like added random stuff that I realized I needed, like for the mailing list thing, like an unsubscribe button at the bottom. Had to figure out how to do that. That's just random stuff. I'm yapping. Mostly because this problem looks hard. But regardless, we're going to try it. We're going to give it a good 20 minutes. And then I'm going to go and try to remember what we did for poker. Remember that project that I haven't done in like a week? We're going to do some poker. Which I'm excited for. Try to get that working. Alright. Regardless. Given an array of integers, return the number of subarrays with an odd sum. Since the answer can be very large, return it modulo 10 to the 9th plus 7. Okay. So it'd be like 1, 1, 3, 1 through 5. Oh, with an odd sum. Not all odd. Oh, wait, no. Turn the number of... Oh, okay. So it's just returning the number of ones with an odd sum. This seems like prefix summy. I don't exactly know how I'd use it, but I feel like always when you see these problems, like a prefix sum will help somehow. With this, it just means that, like, I guess an early check you could do. I don't know how helpful it would be. But, like, if every element is even, obviously you can't make an odd number. So early returning would be good. How do I think I can actually do this? Like if we were to have a prefix sum, like the problem is you got to get combinations of everything. So if you take a prefix sum and then you like go over it n squared, such that you're like removing your own index. And just check the sums. Will that double count? I actually just don't know. I'm like kind of forgetting how to do a prefix sum. Oh, can you do this? If there's a way to find all the possible suburbs. Yeah, there probably is. I'm just trying to think, like, even if we prefix sum it, like, how once we have, so say we have like 1, 3, 5. Say we have 1, 3, 5. So its prefix sum would be 1, 4, 9. It'd be like, we start here, and we see, like, it just seems like you need the 2 pointers, because we stay at 1. It's like, is 1 odd? Yeah. Then we move this, and it'd be like, we're excluding this. So we'd take like this element minus that element. And that would be 3. So that's valid. And then we'd move this pointer once again to here. We'd take 9 minus 1, which is 8. So that'd be invalid. You know? It's just my train of thought. But I don't know if that's like... doesn't seem optimal. But I don't know. We'll see. What's up, Alex? I don't know, I'll try it. I mean, first let's just make the prefix array. It'd be I plus 1 here. Is how do we prevent double counting is the only thing I'm trying to think of. Because in this case, like, we would already count the array of just 3. So then when we move the pointer to be here, we'd have 4 minus 3 is 1, which would like say to use this. This is fucked up. Like I was thinking you always start here and here. Maybe this is for like the sum combinations. It's still bad, because I was thinking you could just loop over this originally and check odds. Like how many odd groups you have. Because that would solve this problem. Or no, that wouldn't actually. I guess we could just check the first group itself, because anything past this, it's like you have a pointer to here and a pointer to here. So if you remove this, you're really just isolating this group. Right, like we're only isolating the 3 here when we remove the 1. No, because then if you, by that same logic, take this and this, like that doesn't isolate that group. Like with this prefix sum, how do we isolate? I don't know. Is it helpful to maybe like go backwards? Or like, if we wanted to not care about space, we could make it a set. Because are they unique? No, they're not unique. Why did I have these hints open? Can we use the accumulative sum to keep track of all? I'm not doing it like that, so. Ugh. Just trying to figure out best use case for this prefix. We have this prefix. I don't know if I'm getting like too attached to the prefix, but it just seems like the right thing to do with these problems, like almost always. Like I'm also thinking maybe just keeps. I was thinking of keeping a sets thing of like the type of arrays we found to make sure we don't double count, but since they're not unique, you could have like 2 valid arrays of 3. I just got to think through like what a prefix sum information can give us at each point. Like if we're at this point in the prefix sum, what does that tell us? It tells us that the group of everything before is even, so we don't need to add it. And it also tells us that if we like subtract 3, so like subtracting itself, that the group of everything before that was odd. So maybe it is a case of like at every point do 3 checks. 1 is the array of just the element, like of just this, is that odd? If it is, add 1. Else is the array of the prefix sum, like is the element of the prefix sum odd? If it is, add 1. And lastly, if the prefix sum minus the original is odd. Let's try that. So let's do the first check. So if array at I and 1 res plus equals 1, if prefix at I and lastly if prefix at I minus I don't know if this is, let's just see if this is like remotely right. It's meant to be an enumerate. Oh yeah, I forgot that prefix sums. Kind of like forgot how to do prefix sums, I can't lie. I'm pretty sure you do. And plus 1 maybe? And then that should work, but then we want to index into prefix I plus 1. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Let me make sure my prefix is right, actually, because I'm like... 149 looks fine. 2612 looks fine. 1361050, yeah, looks fine. Okay, so our prefix is right. So it's more like, what cases are we missing? I just want to debug this. Just want to see like what cases we're hitting, what we're not. So we want the one. I guess we're always double counting the first one. That should knock us down one, and then what else are we double counting? So there's the array only of 1, 3, and 5, which is right. 1, 3, and 5 are all odd. And then 1 should be 9. Oh shit, and then this is also double counting because the prefix of this is 4. So we're checking the previous one against itself. The bad thing is this one's not getting everything. I think I'm close, but I don't really want to spend more time on this, so I'm going to check. So it was prefix sum. Wait, this is just not a prefix sum. Bro. Note that even plus odd equals odd. Bro. Bro, that's maybe the most unintuitive shit. I was way off. you solve it? No. I'm on a bad streak. Like, in a slump for leetcodes. I just have not been getting things right. It's kind of annoying me. It's like, this makes sense. I don't know why I did the whole prefix thing. Like, what is this? Previous even sums plus current sub array itself contribute to the odds. Oh, because if the thing in itself is odd, if you add that to any number of evens. Yeah, okay. And then the sub vice versa. Fuck, man, that's so simple. Oh. That's annoying. That is annoying. Okay, let's... Then... So if it's odd, Ruz, yo, hello, first time here. What's up, man? Witnessing me struggle currently. So it's the number of evens plus +1, I think. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I just couldn't fucking come up with it. So that's cool. But we move on. Okay. I need to kind of completely remind myself of where we were in this poker project. Because I fully fucking forget. I know we had some, like, game manager stuff. I know I didn't check anything with the WebSockets. Like, I haven't actually tested them. I was kind of just did, like... Second, let me change my music. I kind of just did a ton of code without testing anything, which maybe not the best. Oh, whatever. I just want to see recently played. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm changing my music. Okay. So I'm just gonna run through, try to refresh my memory, see where we were even at one point. And then yeah, we'll go from there. So start with this client. What did the client have? I'm coding right now too for school. Best of luck, man. Okay, so we had a read messages thing that takes in this channel, and then based on a game message, does different things with the client. Does this make sense to me? If we're joining, we're going to join with the client. What is the payload again? So the payload will have table ID. Okay. Bet gets the table ID from the client. Gets the bet size from, yeah, okay, I remember this. And then handle check is just advance the turn. Handle fold is set the playing hand to false. What do I have to iterate again? For the player in the table. Oh, interesting. Okay, I mean, makes sense. And then advance the turn and broadcast the state. I need to remember what broadcast state is. Takes in a table ID. Remake the array to ensure no data mismatches. Okay, sure. So what, does anything ever read in state update? No. Okay, so I need to do this. So we want state update for the client. Because this goes into the hub broadcast, which is here. And then searches in the client. Oh, so actually we don't have to implement it in the hub because all the hub does is send the content to the client. Yes? Oh, all it sends is a table ID. If client.table ID is equal to the message table ID, we then send to the client. So actually the client needs to handle state update. Yeah? Do I believe that? So then why in here do I not have? Because read messages would come from the hub run. Yeah, because it just comes into my send. Where does it come into the hub? I think that's deprecated. So game manager creates a table, gets a table, advances turn. So I'm pretty sure it is the client that has to handle. The thing I'm a little confused about that I don't fully remember is what client.send is. So send just has this. But I'm reading from the connection. Am I tripping? I feel like I might be tripping. Wait. Okay. What the fuck was I doing a week ago? Why can I not remember? Because here, the message content gets sent to client.send. Sure. Makes sense. However, it does not make sense when I am reading from... Unless, are these two like interconnected? Is that a thing? It's not really what I want. I mean, honestly, that's probably a great GPT question. So I'm gonna ask it, because I don't care. Does the client.send generally relate to the client.connection? Because in my hub, I'm sending like this. Dude, can I press the right keys? Thank you. Okay, so it is. The send channel is used to queue outgoing messages. Okay, so this is what I thought. Client reads incoming messages. So in the write messages, I feel like I have that here. Yeah, I do. Okay. So what does this do? Client struct should also have a write messages function that listens on a send and writes data to connection. Oh, this is the fucking missing piece. Okay. That makes more sense now. Wait, does it? So this reads from send. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this reads from send and then writes it to the specific connection. And then we read from that connection. Okay. Sure. Makes more sense. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So in that case, we need to do, what is it, state update? So state update will then get read by the client in one of these cases. And then I'll have to make a game manager thing. Will I? Because in broadcast state, why can't I just broadcast it to all the clients at this table? I feel like I'm missing something. Or maybe this is like just fully where I left off and now I just gotta make new shit. But what it seems like is I have this state update thing, which has the public state for everything. And then I need each player to have this information. Which I don't know exactly where that's going to be like encoded, you know? Huh. Sorry, this is probably the most boring fucking stream to watch ever. I'm not even coding. I just have to think through this. Because I don't fully understand WebSockets. Because I know each client has a player ID, right? And a player ID and a table ID together wait, actually, I thought they were indexing. I thought they were used as index. For what the fuck was I smoking a week and a half ago? Why the fuck are player ID and table ID strings? What does get table even run? So it's a map? So it's a map to pointers to tables. Okay. And each table holds what? Its own ID. Sure. A deck players, which is a pointer to a player, and a stack size. This is top tier content. Don't be so hard on yourself. Look, I appreciate you, but there's just no fucking way, because this is literally just me staring at previously written shit code by me trying to understand it today. Okay, so like I have this broadcast state thing. That in my infinite wisdom, I was like, hey, let's send this to the clients. So maybe in the clients, just trying to understand like what I was even thinking about how to display this information, right? Because obviously the table struct knows the state of the table. So in this state update, I have to update that, right? Like the table should know the pot size, the community cards, the players, and the current turn. But then again, so should the client itself. So I'm just struggling to like think, should the table have these fields? And then it's like a client will connect to its table because it knows the table ID. That's what a client has. And then like, should the table just have the public information of like current turn? I don't know if that's right. Just from like a system design perspective, because what I'm struggling to understand is like, if I send this broadcast state, I need the client to like register that update. But the way like the pattern has gone is I would then do a case state update gm dot handle state update, which makes no fucking sense because in here, that's like what broadcast state is, right? Because essentially what it's doing in here is going to here. It's going to get down to case client send. because we're matching based on table ID. Matching based on table ID. So like we're already only sending this state. To the clients that are at the table. So like, should the client have more fields? Oh, fuck it, I'm asking GPT. I for some reason, I just cannot figure this out in my head. I hate that I have to like refer back to fucking AI, but whatever. I can't think about it, and I'm gonna get nowhere. Having trouble broadcast state should work. Sending it to each client at the table ID. But from there, what should I do? Should I add fields? Whatever. Soy debit is. What else would I realistically? Because like I just feel like the client should have this information, but at the same time I just feel like that's wrong. It's like I just don't know how to broadcast this state. Whatever. Almighty GPT, tell me why I'm a fucking idiot. The idea behind broadcast state is to take the public game state from the table and send it to every connected client. This update is meant to inform all players. Yeah, I understand that. Game state is maintained in the game manager. Okay, yeah, no, like, I understand this. Oh, so it should just, like, fully be written? I mean, read by... Ah, fuck off. So this is the part where you, like, read it on the client. Use broadcast to see it. Okay, so that's what I was doing. That's why. That's what happens when you don't work on a fucking project. I really should have just continued with this project when I, like, understood what the fuck was happening. It's quite funny. Okay. I see. Okay. Wait, actually, do I see? Well, the state of the clients. Just trying to understand like the flow of this. So they're two just fucking, oh my god, they're two completely different things. Alright, so read messages is client to server. That makes so much sense. Okay. But it writes with message.text message. Message.content. Okay, and then in the content. So we'll deserialize it on the front end. And get the type from that. Okay. Okay, so I kind of have no fucking clue how to test this. Oh god. Because my main is so messed up at this point. Oh yeah, I will need something to evaluate the hands and deal cards in. These do need to be handled, actually. Game manager, handle deal cards. Oh wait. Should deal cards be sent from the client? I feel like maybe not. For now, I'll make it in the client, but I feel like it shouldn't, honestly. It just like definitely shouldn't be sent from the client. Deal cards should happen. Like we need to know. I should probably just do a more basic test. But deal cards should either be like when we start the game or when the server-side logic detects that we have done like a full loop. Should not be a client send. No. But should be something like server side, where the game starts, checks if a loop has been done after flop, return then whatever. Him subscribing, see you in 5 years. Hopefully I will be employed by then. Probably not. Kind of similar to above. Should be handled by server eventually. Would be triggered in a table is done the full round after river, or when all active players cannot bet further. Right? Because that's the only time you really evaluate the hands. Or at least for like determining winner. Because we're probably still going to be calling evaluate hands like on every round. Like honestly, these two might become interlinked with each other. Because if we're doing I kind of want to just figure out like how to even set this stuff up so I can run some tests if like anything is even working. So I think I'll need, or like in our hub, so we have a new hub, and that's all we have in here. So how do we actually know? Okay. Oh, fuck me. So hub should just be new hub. And then game manager is equal to is it just like new game manager? Is that what I said? But then needs a hub. So there we go. Do I need to set anything else up? What are the clients? How do I assign a client? You guys are fucking trolls. I hate you both. Oh yeah, okay. So the client would join a table. Do I even believe that? I feel like I do. What was handle connections? Before I wrote. Oh, okay. So I do need to, I feel like I can rip this, to be honest. And just be fine. Do I need a hub as well? Seems like I need both of these things. So, what does register look like again? Okay. And then read messages on the game manager. Seems fine. But also we need to then have the game manager handle the join. Let's just send some mutex. It's like a lock. So like it'd be in like hub. So to pretty much guarantee sync state, anytime you're making a change in like the channels, you first lock the mutex to make sure nothing else is happening but what you are changing at that exact moment, to guarantee like everything can read correctly. Do the changes and then immediately unlock it. So it's pretty much just will stay locked it'll stay locked while data is changing, to guarantee like these WebSockets can sync together because it's all real time. Or at least that's my very basic understanding of what a mutex is. Why can't you lock before the select line? Can't you lock before the select line? That's a good question. Oh, because these are all like, this ghost syntax is like pretty much, it's like constantly pulling. So this is, you're pulling all the time for like this stuff to happen, but like for this channel h.register to like read something, and then the client is taking in what that's reading. So if you lock outside of here, these can't pull because they can't change. But then as soon as we read some data in, we're like, shit, we got to act on it. Let's lock down, act on that data, and then unlock and keep pulling. I'm like pretty sure that's what's happening. But also, I have not touched this project in a week and a half, and I have a very bad understanding of WebSockets. But I'm pretty confident that's what's happening, actually. I feel like I need the handle join message. Because, so no complaints here. HRegister is just like a channel. Like in the hub, we have these channels, and channels are pretty much just like pipes you can send data through. So what this is saying, I think, is that we're awaiting the channel of the register channel, and anytime we see data in the register channel, we pop it off like the queue, and then declare like that data as our client variable, because that's what's happening. Like see here how we're sending client to the hub register channel. So then this is gonna realize, hey, we have data in the register channel. Let's put it to that's our new data. Let's act on that data, and then unlock. I think. This is single threaded, right? I think. I actually don't know. No, multiple. I actually didn't know that. Actually, I don't know if that's by default. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it defaults to that. Okay, so it's pretty much like you can, but I think I'm running it on one. Or at least I don't know how to run it on multiple yet. As always. I'm trying to think in this register, like, technically a client, like, I'm feeling like I can do something like this, where I make a message. Because, like, what type is message here? It has content and table. Where is this struct? Okay, so it has a table ID. Can I do something hacky like this, where all I write is that the content so I want type. I want type and payload. Change this, this is bad. But for now, I might be able to get, no, this is gonna be a JSON message. God damn it. No, I'll just have the, okay. On mount to this page, I'll have them connect to a table. but then the user will have to click in of like up their pot or their stack size. Yes, that's what I will do. Don't think. So I think for now, on join, we're just creating a client. Then the user will be prompted by front-end UI for the table join and stack size they want, which will then be read via the what is that called? Via the client channel. I don't know. Like via this read messages thing. Okay. I think I'm gonna end it here. I kind of want to get to bed early again tonight. Or early-ish. I'm excited to start back up in this poker project. All right, Shaman, I forgot to say, I did finally push the changes, so any food is all new. With all the UI changes and all that stuff, weekly items and such. So I'm kind of, this project is going to be probably for the next week and a half put on, or until I finish this poker project. This is not directly to Shaman. This is going to be the end of the stream. I'm rambling like a motherfucker. I finished the UI updates for this. As for the next week-ish, I'll be working on poker and bug fixes for this of stuff that inevitably will come up. Stuff going wrong and stuff that I didn't test, etc. After poker, I'm going to head back to this project. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to learn some fucking React Native. And I will get an app on this phone by the end of the year. By the end of this school year, I will have an app on my phone. That's the goal. But as for now, I'm a little bit burnt out on this. So, for a later project. That's the game plan. I wish you all guys a good night. I'm gonna go get some sleep. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for day 72. Good night, guys.